Hey everybody, Dave Woodson, Realtor with Prime Real Estate, and we are live as we happen. And let me get this over here where it should be, so I can see this, and we meet it real quick. And now we're going live as we happen. Let me do something here real quick so I can see everybody. We're live as we happen, and I've got, you know what? I sat down and didn't have anything in my hand like I should have. My notes are over there on the floor. I have a box over here to my left that I got from a fan this week. I got fan mail. Second time I've got fan mail in ever. So I need to open that live as we do this because I want to thank that person as we go along. Andrew Gavin's in the house. Andrew, you have the link. It hasn't changed at all. So if you want to jump on here sooner than later, that's perfect. Give me 1 second. Let me get my fan mail real quick. So hold on. Let me get my notes. So I'm back. I can't be frozen. I froze up. I really froze up. So I'm live as we happen. I expected Erinn Nobel to be on here about 15 minutes. I told her to be on here about 8:15. So I got notes for her. So I got fan mail this week. Special delivery. Saving it just for you guys. Open it just for you guys. So if I blow up and die, we all can blame Misha Thompson. So I got this from him. What the fuck? The hell happened? Okay, I'm not sure what the hell happened, but I went somewhere. Got this from Misha Thompson this week. Actually got it on Friday, but I wanted to save it for you guys so you guys can see me open it live as we go along. Oh, I'll as soon as I open the box, I will pour a drink. I'm a knife master. I can't help myself. I love knives. So here we go. Let me actually move the keyboard. That might help a little bit. So far, nothing exploding. Nothing live. Got a T-shirt. The hell?
That's in. Okay.
Erinn Nobel's in the house.
Wait a minute.
I'll put this down. We'll come back to the fan mail and we'll start with Erinn Nobel real quick. Oh, maybe I just lost her. Oh, she said 1 minute, so hold on. Okay, we'll come back to the fan mail then. Are we still having technical difficulties? Because I'm perfectly fine on this end. Perfectly fine on this end. So I got a T-shirt that says Missouri, home of the B-2 bomber. Kick ass. Kick ass. Home of the B-2 bomber. You guys see that? Home of the B-2 bomber. Thanks, Misha. And a hat. You know I love hats. Whiteman Air Force Base. That's kick ass there, Misha. I appreciate that, buddy. Already know my hat size. I got to make it extra fat. There you go. Thanks, Misha. I appreciate it, buddy. That's kick ass. You rock. Thanks, Misha. If you guys want to send me fan mail, hit me up my mailing address. I'll send you my mailing address. You guys can send me anything you want to send me. I appreciate hats and T-shirts from all over the place. So far, I've gotten some from fire department down in Atlanta, Georgia, and not Atlanta, Georgia. I just moved in my office today, and now I got an Air Force hat. I am rocking and rolling. So, Misha, you rock, buddy. I appreciate that. So let's go to tonight's wine. Tonight's wine is Cabernet Sauvignon, 3 Wishes from what's that? Whole Foods. We picked up some Whole Foods a couple weeks ago. I have never had this before. I hate when people pour me a half glass and expect me to taste it like I'm going to turn it down. So since I've already swore, I got to drink a little bit. I think our guest double booked herself tonight. She had a Marietta, Georgia. Yes, sir. You are absolutely correct. Rockin' hat. I love fire. I'm a fire guy. I should have went in the fire department. So any guys got any questions before we get going? I think Erinn, like I said, our guest double booked herself tonight. She had a wine tasting thing that she had to go to, a cocktail hour, a networking event cocktail hour that she went to, and she's going to jump on here when she can. Andrew's supposed to jump on here when he can as well. Stacy Catherine is in the house. We got a name like Stacy Catherine, I'm going to say the whole thing. Tim Davis is in the house. Who else is in the house tonight, guys? I got 10 of you guys watching, so you guys, if this is your first time watching, speak up or forever hold your peace. I have questions for our guest, but if she doesn't show up here soon, we're gonna. She's supposed to be about 8:15 because she did, like I said, she did double book herself. So I'm actually kind of busy this month. I got a closing on. I thought I was gonna blank the month. I completely forgot I have a closing scheduled for next week. The Gavinator's in the house. Uh-oh. I got a closing on Wednesday, walkthrough tomorrow. Wrote an offer today, respecting an offer tonight. Actually, it was one of those, I did an open house yesterday. Someone who walked through the open house loved the open house, went back and told their agent, and they're going to write an offer on it tonight. They're doing a second walkthrough this evening. Going to write an offer on it this evening, and hopefully get it accepted by tomorrow sometime. Other than that, getting another listing tomorrow or this week. I'm actually at my brother's house. What are you looking at, Andrew? You look perplexed. Did you get a haircut? Hey, Jeannie K. Jeannie K is in the house. Jeannie, it's your first time I've seen your name. Where are you from?
Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. Can you hear me? I hear you just fine. Can you hear me? You hear me on the feedback? Where are you from, Jeannie? I hear you just fine. You're not hearing me, are you?
Dude, I'm like,
You got a delay? Put your headphones on.
stop.
And now we're getting feedback. We're getting the echo going on. Put your headphones on.
It's my,
It's user, isn't it? Now we're getting feedback. We're getting the echo going on. Florida. What part of Florida are you from, Jeannie? Is it Jeannie or Jean?
It's user error, yes. God damn it. Idiot.
Florida. What part of Florida are you from, Jeannie?
It's user error, yes.
I'm so glad you got the feedback going on for me. So anyway, this has actually been a pretty good week for me. I mean, things are going along pretty smoothly. Can't complain. And to argue one of your points is I had actually took an offer I actually got a new listing last Wednesday, full price offer on Friday. And I know, I'm going to agree with you on this one. I did absolutely nothing to sell the house except put a sign in the front yard and take some good pictures of it. But what makes me mad, I didn't get any listings out of it. She should be here any minute. She should be here at 8:15. Shut up whining already. I'm already tired of you whining. I'm talking to you, Jessica. Well, to put us on live. You know, I went unlimited on my cell phone. I bought the unlimited package on Verizon. Between the daughter and I, we've used 22 gigs in like 20 days. My wife has used 2 gigs in 22 days. But between the daughter and I, we used 20 gigs in 2 days. Are you not gonna say anything? You're just gonna keep looking at me?
It's kind of whack. Like I'm having an issue tonight with like my microphone as well as my hearing or my audio.
Well, I ain't your hearing.
Probably. I'm watching too over here. It's a massive delay tonight.
Well, restart your computer. Is anybody else experiencing the delay of me?
Well, how would they know?
Well, they would know because I'm moving so lightning fast on this end. I am shooting it all. I'm hitting all cylinders tonight.
Well, yeah,
except I can't snap fingers.
If you do this right now, and then they see it, all they see is this. They're not seeing what we're doing. See? It's like a.
We're doing a puppet show. We're doing a figure puppet show. This is this is the magic of the out of the box owls. We can do puppet shows, figure puppet shows. Misha sees everything.
Like all seeing. Okay, what are we talking about? Where's Erinn?
Erinn was going to be on at 8:15. She popped on for a second. You and your Blue Moon can.
That's in 1 minute.
So she should be here any second. She double booked herself tonight.
Can you still see me?
I still see you.
Okay. So I want to pull up this. Stop asking me that question. I want to.
What do you want to pull up?
The NAR page again.
So I did a video this week, and I've already got 60 views. I mean, which is nothing to be impressed about. But I relaunched this channel again. I relaunched my BUI NWI channel, and I started doing videos on it again. And I'm getting actually pretty good traction on it, believe it or not. Just in my social channels and using I'm blogging again. But I really have to. Hey, there's Erinn.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Do I have my mic working?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. Can you hear me just fine?
I can. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Erinn. I'm glad you can finally join us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Sorry it took me a minute, but I do have my wine, and I'm actually up on a rooftop of a building in Seattle. I'll give you a little view here.
Oh, nice. Wow.
See all the traffic back there? Yeah.
So what kind of event are you at this evening? What kind of event are you at this evening? What kind of event are you at this evening?
Ask that question again.
The other local brokers here in town just for dinner. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, long time no talk. You've been busy.
I'm sure she planned that.
Yes.
Okay, I think I got my volume working now pretty well. So, how's it going?
So, I can't complain. Are you talking to me or Andrew?
Oh, of course,
I don't know. Both of you.
I can't complain. I'm doing pretty well for a man in my condition. Go ahead. Talk about Andrew for a minute or two. Take the pressure off me.
Talk about Andrew?
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about this designation. I'm reading. I honestly didn't know much about this designation. I've never. I don't know. I'm probably one of those.
Do you have any designations at all?
Just awesomeness. Trophy husband. That's it.
Awesomeness.
But
okay.
I mean, I'm reading the actual definition off of the NAR website, and I'm not understanding what the benefit is.
Okay.
What is the benefit of being a CRS?
And I didn't want to attack you, so I was trying to stall.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's first of all, Erinn, let's play the groundwork here real quick. What are you to CRS? I mean, what are you to CRS at this point? I mean, you're like the incoming president to Washington State to CRS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh well, then it's an awesome certificate. Then if she's the president, I'm all behind it, 100%.
Well, of Washington State, not of the United States.
No, that would be Lee Brown.
Oh.
So yeah, these are current leaders. She's amazing.
Hmm.
So she's got some great leadership there. You know, and I'm not all about the alphabet soup for collecting designations and you know, having a whole litter of things behind my name. I've got my CRS designation and my CIPS designation, and those are my two main designations that I network through. So for me, the main value is truly the networking and the referrals. But I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my story about, you know, how I became involved years ago with CRS, and I was licensed back in 1999 and went to work for a pretty posh boutique brokerage in 2000. I had to interview, I had to wear nylons, I had to wear lipstick back in the day. But almost everybody, all of the realtors there were certified residential specialists, and they were big proponents of the designation. So it was one of the requirements for me to actually be at that brokerage for me to earn my designation. It took me about 4 years for me to earn because I had to travel quite a bit to go to classes. We didn't have any webinars available. We didn't have many classes available in our area, which is up in Bellingham, Washington, which, you know, we're about an hour and a half north of Seattle. So it took me quite a bit of time to travel throughout the different states and take classes and complete all of the designation pieces to actually earn the designation. So that's my story. That's how I became involved. And I've been working through the CRS network specifically to refer to and receive incoming referrals ever since then. It's probably about 30% of my business, the referral network.
So
That's the
how
big
much
value piece. Go ahead.
how much business do you get off of being a CRS? I mean, I'm just kind of curious.
Huh.
How many referrals a year do you get off being a CRS?
On average, I probably send out 15 and receive maybe 20.
Really?
Maybe, you know, yeah. And then it's getting those closed, of course. But
Well, yeah.
quite,
I mean,
quite a bit of
that's
business.
just.
And, yeah. And now that I'm in more of a leadership position, I've got more of a presence within the CRS community and receiving more and more referrals. So for me,
So
it's just
I have to
being on the
applaud you
map.
because if you're going to be involved in anything, you might as well be the president.
Right? Own it.
Exactly. It's the way to do it.
So that's where I'm coming from. So I brought a couple of guides with me here today. I've got the 2017 guide on how to actually earn your membership and designation. If there are people out there that have questions or they're working towards their designation and need to know exactly what it takes. And I also have the 2017 the course catalog for the remainder of the year. So if anybody has questions about what courses are coming up in their area, they're at my fingertips. I can't see who's on. I'm just seeing.
You're just gonna see. You're just gonna see us. We'll see the questions on our end.
Okay.
Misha wants to know about the MRS. The MRS. He's just being an asshole, though.
Don't know the MRS.
What about
You didn't go to college to get your MRS degree?
No.
Oh, we froze up. So what does it take to get your CRS at this point?
Well, pretty much it looks like you just have to you know be alive for 10 years and
That's part of it.
and do a couple of transactions each year, and there's not even a test. What's up with that?
Now there are tests after you take each class, so you have to pass each course. So there isn't one master grand finale test that you have to take in order to pass. Basically, there's 3 different tracking systems to earn your designation. So if you've been in real estate for over 10 years, basically it's based on transactions and volume. So if you have 150 transactions total, which most people should if they've been in business for 10 years, or an average of 1 million per year with at least 40 transactions, then all you need are 16 CRS credits, and some of those can be from live and from e-training. So that's a pretty fast way to earn your tracking system.
Say that again. I can have 40 transactions.
Okay, let me read it to you here. Okay, if you've been in business for 10 years or more, it's 150 transactions total in all of your 10 years, or an average of 1 million per year with at least 40 transactions. So if you're a high producer and you're doing $40 million transactions, you qualify. So for that program, it's 16 course credits, CRS course. And most of the 2-day courses are 8 course credits. That's just enrolling in a couple of 2-day courses, and then maybe doing for people that are newer and have not been licensed for long, say they're under 10 years of practicing real estate program. There are 2 programs. It's Program A and Program B. So I'll explain Program A. It's either 75 transactions within 5 years or 25 million. So it's either transactions or volume. And for that, you'll need 16 CRS course credits and then 16 education credits. And that can be through live webinars, classroom courses, events, etc. So there's many different ways of education credits. And then 32 elective credits. So some of those elective credits can be satisfied through your ABR, through any other designation. Format here. Glasses are sliding off my face. Okay, so that's Program A. And if anybody has questions about this, I'd be happy to email it to them. It's they're working on streamlining the course earnings for 2018, but they don't have it. The final announcement. Okay, Program B. This one's a little bit easier for people than me. And this is, again, for agents who can 25 transactions total for $8 million with a minimum of 10 transactions in any 2 years. 25 total or $8 million in revenue, 10 in 2 years. For that, again, you'll need 16 course credits, but then the education credits is the double whammy. It's 32 CRS education credits. So not an easy designation to earn. It does take some time. It does take some planning for sure. But it's definitely well worth it. It's been worth it for me as far as the networking. When I refer, if I have an agent or a client that is in an area, say San Diego, yes, you see CRS.
What?
What? So I.
Hello, I'm in San Diego. Like.
Hello. No, I know.
But you're not a CRS.
You're not a CRS. So I refer specifically through the CRS program. I match my clients up with a CRS agent. I interview that agent, make sure they're a good fit for my clients, make sure they're, on top of things and relevant. And then I refer to CRS. I don't refer through my company. My name. Well,
you're breaking up on us.
Am I? I'm okay?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
You're back.
Sorry. Yeah.
Misha said the MRS is a military relocation specialist.
Oh, got it. No, I'm not military. I've got my friends up in Alaska are, but we don't do much of that here.
So are you from Alaska, or do you just live up there?
Yeah, 3rd generation.
3rd generation?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a mountain.
So you're tougher than Andrew and I put together.
That's not true. That is not true. San Diego's a tough town.
San Diego is.
Yeah.
I love San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back.
Not the side that he lives on.
What? My wife has worked really hard so we can live in this part of town.
That's not a key part of town. Yeah, where are you, Dave?
I'm in Northwest Indiana. I'm just outside Chicago in Indiana.
Okay. We'll see you in NAR then.
Have you ever heard of Gary?
Of where?
I'm not far from Gary, Indiana.
I haven't.
The murder capital of the world.
No, my husband went to school in Bloomington there.
I'm sorry. I'll talk slower when I meet him. I'm a Boilermaker.
And let's get back to the topic. Okay. So with the CRS, if you want to go after that, obviously what's cool about it is you've got to have a lot of experience. Like that's obvious.
You need to have some transactions under your belt, have some volume under your belt.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people don't realize that's on the job training. That's the best way to learn this industry is to do transactions.
Absolutely. You're in the trenches doing transactions every week and you're learning something new. This is about refining all of that.
and I could do,
It's
I
about
could
taking
do it.
it's about taking the training wheels off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. It's just advanced education for realtors. A lot of people, which irritates me, because they liken it to having your master's or your PhD, which is nothing to do with this, but be more like, working towards your bachelor's degree in real estate.
So
And
with the
are you talking?
no, I can't
Okay,
hear
just
you.
gesturing. Oh, shoot.
I'm,
Sorry, I have a good connection here.
I know. Wait, is Dave gone? Sometimes he disappears even though he's there.
I'm still here.
Okay, so talk about, there's some credits that appear to be across the board, like you could get an ABR, which might count, but it's
Yes.
also looks like on the NAR site there's specific CRS classes as well. What are you
Yes.
learning in those classes?
Okay, two-part question. So let me find the elective option. Okay, for the NAR courses, if you have your At Home with Diversity designation or certification, that is 8 credits right there. That goes towards your elective credit options. Um, let's see, global real estate for local markets, 16 credits. Oh, here we go. Here's the MRS, military location. Oh, MRPC, military location professional course, 8 credits.
What's the MREA?
Our military.
Meals ready to eat.
I don't remember. I know that one. I'll think about that. It'll hit me.
So let me ask you a question real quick. So why would a home buyer or home seller care that I got a CRS?
Good question. And I don't promote the letters after the name with my home buyers or home sellers. What I do is I show them the extra work that I've gone to take to educate myself and be the best real estate agent I can be out there working for them. I am a
So
residential specialist.
this becomes part of your presentation.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's the top 3% of realtors earn this designation across the nation. So
Oh wow.
it's more of an elite designation. Yes, right.
I'm top 4.
So, hey, does Peter have this designation?
No.
Oh,
No.
so you're the boss at home. Okay.
Pretty much.
All right.
You understand that lingo?
That's right. Okay, so what happens? So this is the part that I don't understand about any of these designations. Is the designation wants you to take the classes. Obviously, there's personal education and getting better and more knowledge, but we still work the same markets if we want, and the clients in general don't know what any of these are other than their alphabets.
Exactly.
And that's the hard part that's the part I think, because we're so driven, especially right now, we're all getting phone calls of Zillow and Realtor and this program and that program, and
Right.
they're ways to get business where this is a lot of work that's valuable,
Yeah.
but it's hard to see the business coming back.
Sure.
How quick are you getting that turnaround, since you have maybe it's different because you have that networking opportunity?
Well, there's 3 pieces to it. So I look at
Okay.
it. I've got 2 clients. So I've got my networking opportunity, my referral. That's a big piece of it. Then I've got peer-to-peer. So if I'm in a listing presentation, I will pitch it to my sellers that I'm in the top 1 or 3% of realtors, and maybe only 23 realtors in our county have their CRS designation. That immediately elevates me to a different level than they got, and I let them know, just in brief, about what the benefits are of the CRS and what I've earned and what I've given back as far as getting a designation. And then there are the other clients.
Dog.
She knows I'm drinking.
He's barking at you. So if I have a buyer's agent coming through, or if I'm a listing agent and I want to have a good rapport with that agent, and they're also CRS, it just gives me an extra extra edge there with it. I know that I'm working with an agent that's very seasoned, who's done quite a bit of business, and who's really invested.
Do you guys have a secret handshake?
So let me ask you a question. So what's to keep me from going when I talk to the average person out there, the average home buyer, to say that what's to keep me from saying I've got a CRS?
It's monitored.
Well,
You can say it.
I know the answer to this question, so.
Yeah.
well, why would you ask? Well, first of all, why would you ask that question?
Well, because I want everybody else to know what would happen to them.
Sure. Yeah. No, we do monitor designations. We make sure that everybody's in compliance who is a CRS, their dues are paid, they're an active member, and that they're able to actually use the designation.
See, Dave, she's so honest and above us. She didn't understand that you were talking about lying to the client and telling them that you're a CRS when you're really not. It went right over her head because she's such an honest person.
So I mean, I knew the answer to that question because I've actually started my CRS and just haven't finished it at this point.
So do you say you're almost a CRS? You're a C?
No, I don't even say anything. I actually say, you see a CRS over there? I kicked their ass in PE last night. So that's all I say to them.
That's got to be pretty powerful. What's the look on their face when you get done explaining that? Because that's actually pretty powerful.
It definitely raises the bar. It's all about educating the client about what we as realtors do, though, for them, and this is just another piece of that. Most of the time, the end user, the client, does not know what we do. They think that we go out, list houses, drink beer, and walk around and shop. So it's most about educating them about the value that we as realtors bring to the client.
That's actually exactly how we do business in San Diego.
Shoe shopping.
That's right. We're at the mall.
So typically, my clients are, my sellers especially, pretty impressed and happy that I take this approach. I'm a full-time realtor, and I'm constantly investing in my career, so I maintain a relevant skill set.
How often have you actually heard someone say, we chose you because of this education, based on CRS specifically?
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time, especially when I'm working to be on another major brand brokerage here in town.
Do they drink Kool-Aid?
Yes. And that's okay. Kool-Aid.
So
wine is better.
I don't know if Jessica's still on or not, but she'll want me to ask this question.
Sure.
And I'm the right person to ask it. So when you explain this in a presentation to a husband and wife, do you find that the husband becomes more compliant, knowing how educated you are?
More compliant?
Just kind of like buys in more?
He's being mean.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all. I mean, because no matter what.
That could be a cultural thing across different states, but I don't really experience that out here.
Is your next question going to be who closes more, you or her husband?
No, her husband doesn't do real estate traditional. He's
commercial. Okay.
What are you drinking, Andrew?
It's like a girl's
Blue
beer.
Moon.
Oh.
That's why his wife doesn't drink.
I have the course.
It keeps him docile.
What is it?
I have the course schedule right here. If anybody would like to know what the upcoming courses are in their area for the balance of the year.
Yeah.
We have several.
We should have a CRS corner in the room, in the group.
That'd be awesome.
You know what would be an interesting statistic is if they could go back, if NAR could actually, because the way it's broken down, NAR could actually tell us or tell you guys how let's say there's 2,000, 20,000 CRSs. They could tell us, is there another 2,000, 1,500 more people out of the million that actually qualify? Which would be a really interesting number.
it is actually. We've done some studies on that. The the majority of agents who are working in the business school can qualify it, or they're really close to qualifying, especially if they've already earned their ABR or their RSPS. I mean, it's not that hard to earn the designation, especially if you've got a lot of transactions under your belt and doing your job and doing the work.
Can you find out if I qualify?
And what?
No.
I can.
No. No.
It'll take some
I
work.
think I do.
They don't want you. Like,
Me too. Okay, who wants to know what's coming up? Let's see, we've got August right here. I can just run down the courses really fast and
Yeah, sure. Why not?
okay, there aren't that many. Okay, so in August, just reach out to me in email or on Facebook if you have any questions about where they are. I could get you details. You can also go to crs.com online. We've got a huge resource. And also to become a member, you can become a member without having a visit. Membership is $199 per year. That'll get you in. You can start using the referral network, digging into things there. Okay, so in August, we've got a class coming up in Tennessee. That's a 16-course credit. I'm not going to read the specific classes, but you can just reach out to me. But I don't know where everything.
But it's Tennessee. I mean, it's going to be on the back of a shovel.
Never been.
no, Tennessee's actually really it's a lot different now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Last year?
businesses move. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's cheap to move there, so there's a ton of businesses like the tech industry's going there.
Okay.
There's no income tax.
Got it. Okay, so I'll read the courses coming up in August in the states. So in August, Gray, Tennessee, then Colorado Springs, Colorado, Vegas, woohoo, Orlando, Vegas again. Vegas is heavy. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 courses in Nevada. If you guys are headed there, 2 courses coming up in Houston, another one coming up in Grand Junction, Colorado, and then one back east in Pittsburgh. Then in September, back in Colorado, Virginia Beach, Oklahoma, Virginia in Glen Allen, Huntsville, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Jacksonville, and Naples, Florida. Oh, I love Naples. Springfield, Missouri, Tahoe, back in Tennessee in Hendersonville, back in Colorado again, and Florida, Reno, Brooksville, Florida, and Cincinnati. That's just September. So these are all live courses. These are 2-day courses.
So do you have to do a live course to get your CRS, or can you do it all on webinar at this point?
You need to do a couple of live courses, or one live course at least. You can, well, it depends on which tracking system. If you're doing
So what are the different tracks? I mean, is it tech heavy?
Some can be tech heavy. They're all sorts of different course offerings. So I mean, they just got to reach out to me and I can. It's anything from listing strategies for the residential specialist to building an exceptional customer referral business, negotiation techniques, buying and selling income properties, and all sorts. So let's see, but balance in September, we're in Tennessee, Colorado, Texas, and South Carolina. And we'll also be up here in Bow, Washington. Washington State, that course goes. October, again, all across the map, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Maryland, Anchorage, Alaska, my hometown, Pennsylvania, Oregon.
How much real estate is sold in Alaska?
Ton. We have an incredible amount of people, military especially.
That's true.
We've got reloads, and we've got people that come up there on contract working for the native corporations or the hospitals. Come up, work 3 to 5 years, and then they're done with it and to see where they go.
I was thinking about something important to share with Dave. Dave, you're lucky that the CRS has transaction qualifications, because I don't know if you could ever qualify with the $100,000 homes you sell. I mean, I can actually qualify faster than Dave selling mobile homes.
Yeah, that's a good point. And our market has shifted here too. It took me a long time because it used to be based on volume, and at that time our median price point was 112,000. Right now it's 412,000. So it's much easier. So it's based on transactions or volume. So it's a fair playing field for everybody. Okay, so that gets us through October. I don't want to read the rest of it. Yeah,
So are you coming to Chicago for NAR?
I will be. Yes, absolutely.
I will be there. So I'm planning to be there as well.
Nice.
Are you speaking, Dave?
No, I doubt it. They don't want to pick up when I'm laying down.
Erinn, what's Peter doing these days? How's his little business going? Like he was telling us about.
Drinking wine.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. No, he's doing great. He's got lots of things taken up in the pipeline. He's working on managing my team as well.
How many do you have? How many do you have in your team?
I've got 3 buyers agents.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So when you travel and when you're traveling for CRS, what are you doing? Are you speaking to other CRS agents, or are you speaking to like MLS boards or associations?
Yeah, good question. In Washington State, I travel quite a bit. It's a big state. We've broken it up into 4 quadrants. So next year's incoming president, I've got 4 area reps that we'll be working with to promote designation awareness and also do some local networking stuff so we can all get together and have some mini masterminds. We just hosted our regional event up here, which is basically the Pacific region. Hosted our strategic planning session, getting ready for 2018, getting things on the map because of planning out all of our courses. It takes a significant amount of time talking to the different MLSs and boards and what they are wanting to offer as far as courses. So that's the regional portion that I do. Back at mid-year, it's learning. So I'm learning how to become a better leader. Learning a lot about leadership and growth within CRS, and that'll be the same at NAR in Chicago.
Do you have any like coming in goals that you want to meet, or items you want to change, or like what's the legacy you want to leave for your year as president? Like
another great question. Our membership here in Washington State has become a little bit stale. Kind of been known as the good old boys club, so we're shaking that up quite a bit. Our leadership now is trying to cultivate people from the Young Professionals Network and really get engaged with the younger generation, the next generation of realtors coming in, the next generation of professionals that want to invest in themselves and also give back and volunteer. So we're working on radically shifting how we outreach to our community base, doing a lot of Facebook Live, things like this, just one-on-ones and conference calls where we can get together and share and learn and talk about how we can promote designation awareness and upcoming courses. So it's just shifting up the outreach and shaking it up and kind of following Lee Brown in her footsteps. She's been an excellent leader for the past year. Very, well, she's late. She's just an amazing kick in the pants.
So with the community service piece, which this is actually pretty cool. Like I love I wish realtors would get behind more things in their community, but having a designation that actually has a goal of doing community service. What type of things are you guys actually doing?
We've got a couple of things. We've got CRS with a heart, where each CRS state by state essentially gets together and they define where they want to basically put their money, put their heart. It could be towards Habitat for Humanity or whatever's really needed in the community. So we're working on defining that for 2018, but we definitely give back. We're major contributors for our path as well. But we're all about supporting our client base, our customers, our end users.
So is that more like financial support versus being boots on the ground and serving the homeless, or it is okay.
It's both. Yeah,
Okay.
it's whatever that specific CRS wants to do.
Okay.
Members get to define what is needed, what the need is, and where the need is, and what can be done. I mean, if there was a flood in the area and something recent that needs to be addressed, obviously something like that would be.
Do you guys use that in your marketing?
No, we really don't. It's just part of the subtle art of giving back, and we don't promote that piece of it really. We promote CRS with a heart. But it's definitely an association of giving back and raising the bar.
This is my advice coming for your new presidency is, as you go in, you could be the only one that does this ever, but start a newsletter or an email, even if it's just to your own people, of what this very select, educated, highly successful group of people are doing in the community. Like, this is like, because to share with the community what the elite, Dave, you got to take your medicine?
Honestly, that's the good idea, Bill.
But I think this is something that it would be amazing to see you start, and maybe it's too much, but ideally, people love to follow a great cause, and if you're showing that this unique group of people that have done X, Y, and Z to be at this level, and they're still willing to be right on the ground, like that's an awesome email to get, or a newsletter.
Oh yeah.
Or it would be a cool update.
We've got part of that plan. We do have a newsletter where we talk about it, but we haven't been actively promoting it. So definitely good words to heed.
Oh yeah, and it gives that whole group. Just think, it gives that whole group content to share with their client base for a whole year.
Right.
And you're doing it anyways, so
Exactly.
And all you're really doing is sharing, something about yourselves and about giving a positive light to real estate. You're not even asking for anything. You're not bragging. You're just saying, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I like that. That's good stuff.
That's a free tip.
Yeah, that's right. That's a free one.
Thanks for having me, you guys. Do you have any other?
Erinn, we really appreciate you being on.
Yeah.
So if anyone wanted to get a hold of you or contact you for speaking, or how would they get a hold of you?
Just reach out to me on Facebook. That's fine, in Messenger, or my cell phone, which is 360-398-3883. You can text me there or call me. My email address is it's my name, Erinn, which is ERINN .Nobel, like Nobel Peace Prize, NOBEL, @exprealty.com. Happy to answer questions, put you in the right direction, go over your designation.
Oh God! This whole thing turned into an EXP pitch. I can't believe it.
No, it has not.
I was wondering when we were going to go there.
Did you see how she slid it in right at the end? Like,
at least she's drinking wine and not Kool-Aid.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I got to meet Erinn, I got to meet Chris, and I got to meet Catherine, all while they were refilling on their EXP Kool-Aid here in San Diego. So it was very fortunate for me. As awesome, and her husband Peter.
I'm sure they can't say the same.
I know. I know.
I'll see you in Chicago.
I will be there. I will gladly meet you for a drink in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Dave, stay on so we can talk crap about this after she's off.
All right, Erinn, thank you. Erinn, I appreciate you coming on tonight and being on the show. We have no parting gift for you, just our love and gratitude.
Send her that T-shirt that you got.
Hell no, that's mine, damn it.
Okay.
Thanks, Erinn. Appreciate it.
Bye, Erinn.
Take care. Good night.
Now let's talk bad about her. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I know. Oh, look, it says, we confirmed she has left.
She's left the room.
Erinn Nobel has left the building. Oh man, that sounds like, when you just look at it, it sounds like a lot of work, and I don't know.
But so worth it. But when they hand out leads or when they hand out referrals, no one's moving to Northwest Indiana on purpose.
This is true. This is true.
So I mean, you know those referral groups and Facebook, like join us, you'll get referrals, which is bullshit. I think I've gotten 2 referrals over the last 4 years from anybody else, and they're moving here to Northwest Indiana. And it's usually someone looking in Gary for a referral for an investment property, which I don't go to Gary. I just don't go to Gary.
Those referral groups, like is the simplest way to see who's desperate. Like anyone that jumps on, send it to me, is like, that's the one you don't want to send it to, because they're probably not doing enough business to be skilled enough to accept a referral. And a referral is crazy because I would feel responsible after the sale closed that shit went right. Like I would lose sleep. If I sent people to you, I mean, I would be worried. Like, I don't know what would happen. And
well, it's like I sent a referral to someone. And I'm not going to say where, because if I say where, it'll be kind of obvious who it went to. And okay. He's kind of well known, and they've done nothing but bitch about him ever since I sent the referral to him. And it's like, and he's well known, and it's like I feel bad now because he's had such a great reputation. Now I can't say anything else up there to him.
So this is actually a really good conversation. What should we be doing to be deserving of someone's referrals? I mean, and think about it, we market to the public who doesn't know us.
You know what? Michael Mayer, you know who Michael Mayer is? The 7 levels of communication. He's got a great system that I really like. If you're doing a listing, if you got a listing referral, like if you sent me a listing referral for a buddy who lives here, I should let you look at my listing before I even before it goes live.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that's what we should be doing. Right. So every community, so I've got someone here locally. So I sent a referral to one of my agents here in our office that's licensed in Illinois. Mm-hmm. And every communication he had with his seller, but my buyer here in Indiana, he communicated with me, and so he did a very good job with that. But he kind of dropped the ball a little bit with them, but he communicated great with me. That makes sense?
Yeah, it's actually sad because he didn't see the money. He wasn't thinking about doing a good job and earning more money in the future. He was thinking about greasing the wheels with you to get more business in the future, which is, right, I think, the wrong way to do it, because if he had spent that extra time babying them and then you followed up with them or they followed up with you, there's more business there. It's a win-win.
Right. You know? Well, they were my buyer first, but they had to sell a house in Illinois. So I mean, it was my lead to give away.
Right.
But he really dropped the ball because he didn't communicate very well with them because they had more, they know more sellers there. We're going to be selling in Illinois and moving here. He could control both sides of the deal at that point.
Yep. So,
but I really think when I get a referral from, if you send me a referral here, I may not communicate with you on a daily basis, but I let you know what's going on. Hey, Andrew, I just let you know that we put an offer on this house for this much. I mean, I tell you how much they put the offer on for. I'll let you know. I keep you in the chain of communication. Which is really what we want. Which is really what we want. We want to be informed more than anything else. Because if our friend calls and bitches, they're like, "Hey, dude, you sent me to is he dropping the ball?" And I'm like, "Oh, really? He emailed you 4 times a day. You're not checking your emails? Because he emailed me 4 times a day, and you're CC'd in every one of them."
Yeah, I find that, a referral from a client needs to be, or from a colleague especially, not so much a non-industry person, because you don't want to bother that person, like a past client that sends you their brother, their cousin, someone at their work. You don't want to bother that particular past client, but industry to industry, agent to agent, I want you to know that your guy's taken care of. And,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and I want because I guarantee you there's almost always at least one or two times that you still connect with that person, in the middle of it. And it's so much nicer if you know what's going on. Just like if you have a team or a TC that someone needs to just make sure that the paperwork's working right, anything like that. Like it makes so much sense. But even on top of that, like, so when you go back to like Michael Marr, his program is designed and his goal is to get, referrals from the general public, from people, from your sphere of influence, database, whatever your favorite word is. But that's completely different than, honestly, the marketing or positioning that you need to think about to deserve, referrals from other agents. Like, I mean, I would give you a referral. I don't even actually know where you live. Like you said it before, but I don't really listen because it's not San Diego. But if I found out you were in the right city, I probably don't know anyone else. So I start with you, and I'd pray every night, But I also know, like, how many people I've ever had come to me and say, give me a referral for this job. Like, not a listing or a purchase, but like when I was in retail and in the sports industry, I could not hardly ever give a referral because I don't want my name attached to that, tell you the truth.
Well, let's look at it this way. I mean, you and I are both admins out of the box. Mm-hmm. So our network is pretty damn expansive.
Yeah.
So someone in my office comes to me. I said, I got a referral for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So now I throw it out there. I say, I have to know, Mary Shannon. I can throw it to Mary Shannon. I can throw it to a half a dozen agents that I know down in Florida. Mm-hmm. So I refer. Let's say I refer Mary Shannon to this agent here.
Yeah.
I want to know if the connection went through or not.
Right.
So when I don't find that out, I get pissed off.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
No, I agree. I want to know. Because I want to know that, for one, was the client taken care of? So it's the same thing. It's like the same thing and I know
not so much as
don't even talk to anybody if they're not pre-qualified. So I know that you're like, go talk to my lender, and then you're probably expecting your lender to call you in the next 24 to 48 hours saying, yeah, I connected with that dirtbag that you sent me, and they don't qualify. But it's the same thing. Like, hey, I connected. This is what we're doing. Everything's good at the moment, And what you want is, like, you almost, because it's hard, especially in sales. Like, you don't want to give someone away, and you don't want to disappear. But I just think, in general, so you go back to the group. So we're both admins, maybe a tiny bit. I'd say 10 to 15% more, because we're kind of paying attention. Do we have the opportunity to learn about our members of this group? But I feel like I know more about people in this group and in a couple of other ones that I interact with a lot than some of the friends that I grew up with here, because I've got to watch them through these threads and all these different questions. Give their answers.
Definitely. Between you, John Grimes, Misha, and Jessica. Yeah. I mean, I probably have more connection with you guys than I do with some of the guys I went to high school and college with at this point.
Well, and the thing is, that's what happens is each of these groups, this is where the real value in this group is you get to watch people in their sort of natural habitat. And when questions are posed in the group, there's almost like a, ingrained DNA type of response that says, I got to answer a question. Like, someone asked me a question. And it's even worse when you have a real estate license, because you want your voice to be heard. You get your license and a soapbox at the same time. Like, it's a big fucking package that you get, And but you get to see these answers. Like, I don't expect anyone to send me a referral, because most of the time they don't like my answers, because I make them, they got to think about it. They've got to deal with the fact that, I'm telling them the truth, not yesing them to give them their answer. And a lot of times I'm just sarcastic, and that's okay. I'm not on here. I'm not expecting that. But if I was, I would act different all the time. Like you would see highly professional all the time. If I was concerned about getting referrals, like if that was my mindset,
Oh, you hit the nail on the head.
yeah,
You absolutely hit the nail on the head. There are times when I refuse to answer a question just because I know someone's going to come over on top of me and call bullshit on me.
right,
Just because they know more than I do. So I refuse to answer some questions in some groups
yeah.
just because I know the admin of that group. I won't mention any names. Are going to come over and overtalk me because they can.
There's a I might get bad mouth. People might say things. That's fine. But there's a thread in a major group right now that talked about a listing and a problem with this listing, and there's about 50 comments from different people, different agents, and their answers vary by 10% or less. It's just a list of the same thing. And
It's go
if
ask
you
your
win,
broker.
and if it's not that answer, but if they're decent answers that have some ideas, but they're all the exact same idea. And if I went back and had the opportunity to talk to those same 50 plus people, every one of them would tell them, well, I'm unique and I have a different system of how I work with clients. And the truth is, you're lying to yourself because you just showed it. Go back and read this thing. It's the same thing. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And it's all identical, and this is where we go back to the referral thing is our service efforts and the way we handle agent to agent, agent to vendor, agent to consumer. That's the only thing that makes us unique in this whole industry. Anything else is pretty repetitive and very similar because it's the same question being asked. How do I sell my house? Well, the house becomes the physical product. It's not going to change. Whatever problems that are dealing with it, being that you've got, a whole MLS of people that deal with similar things all the time, they're going to have very similar answers. Because of the product, we're forced to become sort of similar to one another. It's like, it's tough. It's a hard thing to deal with, but without your personal care and how you deal with things, we're a lot alike. It's unfortunate. I know people don't like that idea.
No, they don't. Well, on that note, it's 9:05. It's 7:05 in your neck of the woods. You have a bike you can go ride. Yeah, you have a trophy. You're a trophy husband at this point. You're gonna go shine your mantle.
I know. I gotta clean the house before my wife gets home from the gym.
So you guys have a good night. I appreciate Erinn Nobel being on, and especially Andrew, especially appreciate you being on. You make the show. Without you, there's no show.
This is true.
Have you guys got any questions?
You need someone to make fun of is the thing. That's always good.
Well, you're a hell of a sidekick, or I am.
Thank you. Oh.
And the wife's here now.
I'm Batman. You're Robin, I think. And that's Catwoman.
You're right there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a delay.
Okay. I like her dress. Nice dress.
Yeah, she just went shopping. They got out of the house today. There she is. I can see her.
All right,
you guys have a good night. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Any questions, feel free to give me a call, 219-872-8000. On that note, you guys have a great night. Thanks for being on. Stop broadcast.